Hello everyone, this is Brianna Rutter from HowToBlackHair.com. And in this video, I will be talking about whether or not dreadlocks or locks grow faster or longer than any other hair type or style. So generally speaking, people want to know, do dreadlocks grow faster than growing your hair out in its natural state or relaxed state? I will address that very thing in this video and also just give you a little bit of background about locking your hair in general. So when someone is locking their hair, they're putting their hair through a process that does just that very thing. Over time, someone who's locking their hair want their hairs to become so interlocked that they turn into a lock. So that when you actually wash your hair or style your hair, the style doesn't get loose or the hair doesn't become untangled. And this could take a long time for someone to lock their hair. The amount of times in between how long it actually takes to lock depends from person to person and even hair type to hair type. So people who lock their hair obviously have to go through just as much patience and time to finally get their hair to where they want it. But people feel like those who have locks actually grow their hair faster or longer than someone who doesn't have locks, because you can see the difference between the lengths. And sometimes you look at someone who's starting with locks and then a year now or a year later than that, they seem to have really long hair. So my take on the whole locking and dreadlock, however you want to call it, my take on locking is that I feel, in my opinion, it appears to be as locked hair is growing faster than hair that is not locked. So you may say, okay, you're silly, because when I look at locks, they look longer than someone who's trying to grow their hair and it's just not working. So there's a couple of things you just have to really keep in mind about hair in general. Everybody's hair grows at a constant rate, give or take a little bit off of a percentage. So realistically speaking, just because someone locks their hair doesn't mean that it makes their hair grow faster. Everyone has a constant hair growth rate. So why does it seem to be that locked hair is longer than someone else's hair? In my opinion, this may not feel or apply the same as you, but in my opinion, if someone has been locking their hair for 5 years and someone has been trying to grow their hair unlocked for 5 years, the person who has locked hair will have longer hair than the person who doesn't. The reason why is because every bit of hair that's on that person's head that's being locked is being contained within itself. So any shed hairs are built up into it. You don't have to comb the bottom or the ends of locks so it stays preserved. So it's easier to retain the length of the hair if you're just locking everything together. But someone who may have natural hair or relaxed hair, they constantly have to comb through their strands and they constantly have to snip their ends as they deal with breakage. So in a sense, they're trying to chase after the length and they constantly have to combat the issues that happens to the ends of their hair. So in my opinion, I do not think that people who lock their hair actually have faster hair growth. I just think that they're able to reach longer lengths because they're keeping all of their hair together. It's not necessary to trim the damaged ends because it's all a lock. But if you're not locking your hair, you have to constantly combat issues with the ends of your hair. So I want you to weigh in on this very topic in the description box below to tell me what you think. Do you think people who lock their hair actually grow hair faster than everyone else? Or do you think it's actually easier for them to retain length? So go ahead and go down to the comment box to let me know what you think. Also, be sure to go on over to HowToBlackHair.com to check out more hair information and videos like these.